Today we shall be studying duality in linear programming problem. Duality is one of the important features in linear programming problem. To every LPP there exists another LPP whose solution is somehow related to the original problem. The original problem is known as the primal problem and the new problem is known as the dual problem. Let us see how the primal and dual problems are related to each other, how their solutions are related to each other. Let us consider this example. Suppose a food product company produces 4 kinds of food products 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each of the products require 3 kinds of resources, say nutrient A, nutrient B and nutrient C respectively. Suppose each unit of food product 1 requires 2 units of nutrient A, 2 units of nutrient B and 5 units of nutrient C. Similarly, each unit of food product 2 requires 3 units of nutrient A, 4 units of nutrient B and 1 unit of nutrient C respectively. The other 2 food products, that is the food product 3 and 4 respectively, requires the nutrient A, B, C by the amounts 3 by 2, 3 and 2 and 4, 1, 2 respectively. And suppose the total resources available, that is the nutrient A, B, C available with the company are respectively 300 units, 500 units and 250 units, and the profits which the company wants to make from the food products 1, 2, 3, 4 are respectively rupees 4, rupees 3, rupees 6 and rupees 2. Now we consider of formulating an LPP to maximize the profit of the company subject to the availability of resources. Let the company should be producing the products 1, 2, 3, 4 by x1, x2 and x3 and x4 units respectively. Then the total profit will be 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 6x3 plus 2x4. So our aim will be to maximize the objective function 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 6x3 plus 2x4. And what will be the constraints? Obviously for the nutrient A the constraint will be 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 3 by 2x3 plus 4x4 less than equal to 300. Similarly for nutrient B and nutrient C the constraints will be 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 3x3 plus x4 less equal to 500 and 5x1 plus x2 plus 2x3 plus 2x4 less than or equal to 250, and the non-negative constraints x1, x2, x3, x4 greater than or equal to 0 will also be there. So this is the problem which considers of maximizing the profit of the company. Now see the same problem from a different perspective, that the company wants to minimize the cost. Let us consider that y1, y2 and y3 are the price the company have to pay for each unit of the resources A, B, C respectively. Then what happens for product 1? For product 1 the total cost must be 2y1 plus 2y2 plus 5y3, and since the company wants to make profit of rupees 4 from each unit of product 1, this total cost must be greater than or equal to 4, because if some of the resources available at 0 price also, that is either of y1, y2, y3 is 0 even, then 2y1 plus 2y2 plus 5y3 must be greater than or equal to 4, otherwise the profit of rupees 4 cannot be achieved by the company. Similarly for the food products 2, 3 and 4 we shall have the constraints 3y1 plus 4y2 plus y3 greater than or equal to 3, 3y2y1 plus 3y2 plus 2y3 greater than or equal to 6, 4y1 plus y2 plus 2y3 greater than or equal to 2, and the non-negative constraints y1, y2, y3 each will be greater than or equal to 0. That is, the problems are respectively these two. Now these two problems will be called dual of each other. One thing we note here, the cost vector in the primal problem has now become the requirement vector in the dual problem. Also, the requirement vector in the primal problem has become the cost vector in the dual problem. So, if we write the primal problem in the form max z equal to ctx subject to ax less equal to b, where ct is the cost vector as a column vector, a is the coefficient matrix and b is the requirement vector, then we see that the dual problem becomes in the form minimize g equals to bty subject to aty greater than equal to ct. The problem of maximizing the profit, we see the problem is of maximization type and each of the constraints is of less than equal to type. Such an LPP is called of the form maximization symmetric form. Similarly, if we consider the dual problem, that is of minimizing the costs, then we see that the objective function is of minimization form and all the constraints are of greater than equal to type. Obviously the variables are all non-negative. This kind of LPP are called in minimization symmetric form. So if the primal problem is given in the form maximize z equal to ctx subject to ax less than equal to b, x greater than equal to 0, then the dual problem will be of the form minimize g equal to bty subject to aty greater than equal to c, y greater than equal to 0. Let us consider this primal problem whose dual we wish to find. Here we see the second constraint is an equality and the objective function is to maximize. So we transform the problem into maximization symmetric form, that is to convert all the constraints into less than equal to type. So first we transform the equality constraint into two constraints like this one taking less equal to and one taking greater than equal to, and now we convert all the greater than equal to type inequalities to less than equal to type by multiplying them with -1. So now we have the maximization symmetric form, that is the objective function is in maximization form and all the inequalities are less than equal to type. That is, it is of the form max z equal to cx subject to ax less equal to b, x greater than equal to 0, where c is given by 2 3 -1 column vector. The coefficient matrix A is 1 1 2, 2 -1 1, 1 -1 and 3 2 -5, and the requirement vector B is given by 10 8 5 6. So the dual problem will be minimize g equal to bty subject to aty greater than equal to ct, y greater than equal to 0, that is this one. Now this one, okay, and also we see here y2 minus y3 is present in each of the inequalities and also in the objective function. So we take y2 minus y3 as a new variable, and as we see y1 y2 y3 y4 y5 are all non-negative, then y2 minus y3 should be unrestricted in sign. If we assign v1 equal to y1, v2 equal to y2 minus y3, v3 equal to y4 and v4 equal to y5, then we get the dual problem in the form minimize g equal to 10 v1 plus 8 v2 plus 5 v3 minus 6 v4 subject to the constraints these. And usually we do not want the requirement vector, any of the components of the requirement vector to be negative. So again we multiply the last constraint by -1, so that finally we have the dual problem, this one. So we see here in the primal problem the second constraint was equality, and in the dual problem we have got the second variable as unrestricted in sign. Also, if we consider the dual problem as the primal, that is, if we consider this is our primal problem, minimize g equal to bty subject to aty greater than equal to ct y greater than equal to 0, then it can be considered as where is it? Perhaps that slide is missing. It can be taken as maximize h equals to minus bty subject to minus aty less equal to minus ct. That is, we are multiplying the each constraints by -1 so that the inequalities become less equal to, and multiplying the objective function by -1, our objective becomes to maximize. So then if we consider the consider finding the dual of the dual problem, then it will become minimize w equal to minus ctx subject to minus at whole transpose x greater than equal to minus bt whole transpose and x greater than equal to 0. And since we know transpose of transpose is the matrix itself, then it is nothing but the primal problem. That is, the dual of the dual is the primal problem. Also you see that in the example which we considered here in the dual problem, if we considered this as the primal problem, then there was a variable which was unrestricted in sign, which we can consider as the difference of two variables y2 minus y3 as here, so that all the variables will become then positive, I mean non-negative, and then we will proceed as before. That is, we will convert the objective function to maximization form and all the inequalities, all the constraints into less than equal to type inequality. If there is any greater than equal to type inequality, we have to multiply it by -1 on both sides, and if there is any equality type constraint, then first we have to break up into two inequalities, one taking less than equal to and one taking greater than equal to, and then by multiplying the greater than equal to type inequality by -1 on both sides, so that we will have the maximization symmetric form, and then we will get the dual problem instantly. Thus we see that if the primal constraint matrix, that is the coefficient matrix A, is of size m by n, then the dual constraint matrix will be A transpose, that is will be of the size n by m. The requirement vector, that is the right hand side vector B of the primal problem, is the vector of the cost coefficient of the dual problem. The vector of the cost coefficient C of the primal problem is the requirement vector, that is the right hand side vector of the dual. The number of constraints of the primal is equal to the number of variables of the dual. The number of variables of the primal is equal to the number of constraints of the dual. Moreover, we see that each of the equality constraints of the primal corresponds to a variable which is unrestricted in sign in the dual problem. Likewise, each unrestricted in sign variable in the primal problem will correspond to an equality constraint in the dual problem. We'll see the relation between the solutions of primal and dual problems in the next class. Okay, thank you.